Hello everyone. Today in this lecture we will be discussing on 8086 microprocessor uh, architecture and the futures of 8086 microprocessor. This is the topic is under the subject of microprocessor and microcontroller, which is under the Department of VC Kits Warangal. So we'll be discussing here the features of 8086. Then the architecture of 8086 would be discussed, including the register organization of 8086, and something about the flag registers would be discussed. Okay. Fastly moving ahead with the today's course learning. This objective of this lecture and the outcome of this lecture is that this lecture objective is to make the students gain a knowledge in 8086 microprocessor features and its architecture, organization, how it is made up of. So once a student has been completed this lecture, then automatically he would be learning a lot about what is the architecture, how the architecture is being designed, what are its different units over here, how the execution unit and bus interface unit is been neatly classified over here, has been projected in this video. Coming to the first one, 8086 microprocessor is a 16-bit microprocessor which can handle both 8-bit and 16-bit operations. And the special feature of this 16-bit microprocessor is that likewise most of the microprocessors will be having, once we name it as an 16-bit, it would be having 16-bit address bus, 16-bit data bus, and all the ALUs made up of 16-bit. But one special feature is about 8086 is that the address bus is made up of 20-bit. So by having this 20-bit address bus, it can address up to a memory of 1 MB. Because 2 power 20 memory locations, which would be equal to 1 mega locations, and as each memory location is of 1 byte, so it would be equal to 1 megabyte of memory. So here 16-bit data is stored in 2 consecutive memory locations, because each memory location is of 1 byte. So if you are having a data of 16 bits, then it would be stored into the 2 memory locations. So next thing is that 8086 has a 16-bit IO bus, input out address bus. So when you are having this 16-bit bus, you can address up to 64 KB. So using of this 64, it has been classified into a clusters of 64 KB. So like that way, memory is been clustered into 64 KB segments. 8086 microprocessor has a total length of, a total of 14 16-bit registers are available in 8086. Out of those 14 registers, the 4 registers are AX, BX, CX and DX, which can be used as 8-bit registers also. Like AX can be used as AL and AH. Likewise, BX can be used as BL and BH. CX can be used as CL and CH. And finally, DX can be used as DL and DH. So 8086 operates in 2 modes. One is the minimum mode, where a single processor, and a multiprocessor mode, which is nothing but the maximum mode. 8086 has a 16-byte instruction prefetch queue. 6 bytes instruction prefetch queue. What is this instruction prefetch queue? How it operates? That would be discussed in the coming slides. So firstly, we will be seeing the outset architecture, how the architecture is being classified. Basically, the architecture of 8086 is being classified into 2 categories. One is the bus interface unit, the other one is the execution unit. When you go for the bus interface unit, you would be having the registers or the other instruction prefetch queue, and it would be connected to the memory interface. Why? As the name itself, it's bus interface unit. It is interfacing to the memory unit through the buses which are available onto this one. So what are the supporting buses? What are its supporting registers? what it requires when it takes the data from the memory. So that data is fed into the execution unit, which would be executing the data. So here, when we go for this one, you will be having another part is the execution unit. What is this execution unit? Execution unit is used to execute the data which is received by the bus interface unit. Whatever the data your bus interface unit is been getting to you is been executed by the execution unit. Okay, fine. So this execution unit, you would be having the most important part is the ALU. ALU is nothing but arithmetic and logical unit, which carries out all lot of arithmetic operations as well as logical operations are being carried out by the 8086 through this ALU. This ALU is made up of 16-bit ALU. Okay, and this operating frequency of this microprocessor is of 5 MHz. So automatically the ALU speed is also of 5 MHz. So apart from this ALU, to carry out all the arithmetic and logical operations, you have been fitted with this execution unit with the general purpose registers and some pointer and index registers. So apart from that one, whatever the results generated, the flags would be indicating the how the results have been, whether the result is at equal to 0 or it is a negative number or it is a positive number. All these things would be defined by the flags present in the execution unit. Next one, this is the two units, bus interface unit and execution unit. The execution unit, you would be having 16-bit registers like AX, BX, CX, DX, stack pointer, base pointer, source index and destination index. So in the bus interface unit, you would be having the registers like code segment, data segment, extra segment and stack segment, which would be discussed over here one after the other. So total registers of your 8086 is nothing but you would be having four segment registers, 4 general purpose registers. When you go for that one, you would be having a total number of 8 registers of this one, then 2 index registers, 3 pointer registers, and this would be getting you a total number of 13 registers, and the 14th register is nothing but your flag register, which would be discussed later on. So what is the use of these registers and what are its names? These are your registers. The 4 are your which are present in your bus interface unit would be having 5 registers: extra segment, code segment, stack segment, data segment and an instruction pointer. In your execution unit, you would be having the remaining 9 registers, which are nothing but AX, BX, CX and DX. As I told you, AX is also called as AX register is called as an accumulator. All the operations which are most of the operations would be taken into consideration by this AX register. Apart from this one, you would be having a BX register, which is called as a base register, which is used for storing some offset values as well as for some general purpose operations. You can go ahead. CX is called as a count register. When you are going for the loop instructions, CX register is being used. The 4th one is a data register. It is having a special purpose, like when you go for the input and output operations, when you want to give a variable addressing, you would be using this data register. Apart from this one, you would be having a 4 segment register. The starting address of the memory segment is given by these registers. Like extra segment starting address is given by extra segment register. Then code segment register, stack segment register, data segment register. All these 4 segments would be giving the starting address of each of these segments. So all these registers are made up of 16-bit, and you are having one of the pointer in the bus interface unit, which is called as an instruction pointer. This pointer is used for the code segment. Similarly, you would be having stack pointer, which is used for the stack segment. You would be having the base pointer, which can be used for a data segment or extra segment as a pointer over there. And apart from this one, these 2 are also used for giving the addressing, source index and destination index. And the last one, you would be having one more a special register which gives the conditions of the results of the arithmetic and logical operations, that is nothing but the flag. So what is this instruction prefetch queue? instruction prefetch queue is an 6 byte queue which has an order of first in last out. So here why it is measured at 6 bytes is that in 8086 the maximum length of an instruction is of 6 bytes. So whenever an instruction is being getting executed, it is first put up in the queue. Then the bus interface unit collects the data from the memory interface and it would be putting it in an instruction prefetch queue. When an execution unit want to execute a data, it never goes to the memory. It will directly take it from the instruction prefetch queue. Just like an example of a bricklayer, which I have taken a source of explanation for instruction prefetch queue. How this the person looking at the top is laying up the bricks, and the assistant is provided who is mixing up the mortar as well as he is providing the bricks to the bricklayer. So this bricklayer, when he goes down and pick up the bricks and take the mortar, his time would be consuming. So to avoid that one, the assistant would be providing him the bricks and the mortar, so automatically he will be laying up the bricks. So at the time he is laying the bricks, the assistant, what he is doing, he is mixing the mortar. So parallelly the working is going on. So that would be done over here. Similarly over here, this is the taken from the Outlook India Express. You can see a person has been throwing the bricks. He is a assistant over here. The other persons are laying up the bricks at the top. So while they put up the bricks at the top or they arrange the bricks at the top, the other person will pick up the bricks at the bottom and he will be providing over there. So it would be a fast parallel process. At the both it would be going over here. So you can see just like an instruction unit is forwarded to the execution unit, they are taking the one brick over here and putting over there. So this would be making a very parallel process. And why we are limiting it to 6 bytes only is the reason is that 8086 when you decode in an instruction of 8086, you will be having a maximum length of 6 bytes. That's the reason that we are limiting those 6 bytes. So this is the process how the fetch, decode and execute goes over here. So you can see within 7 cycles, when the first instruction is going for the decode, the second instruction is getting fetched up. And when the second instruction is getting for the decode, the third instruction is getting fetched up. Like that way, at a time, the fifth instruction is getting fetched up. Already, the first instruction has been completed its execution, as well as the second instruction is also completed its execution. Third instruction is getting executed when the fifth instruction is getting fetched. So that's the reason this will be making up the process very fast. So lastly, we will be discussing on this flag register. 8086 microprocessor has a 16-bit flag register. Out of these 16 bits, you would be having 9 active flags. Those 9 active flags, there are 3 machine control flags and 6 are conditional control flags. The first conditional control flag is the carry flag. The other one is the parity flag. The third one is the auxiliary carry flag. The fourth one is the zero flag. Fifth one is the sign flag. This lower 8 bits of this 8086 flag register is equivalent to 8085 flag register. The higher 8 bits would be having 4 flags. Out of those one is a conditional control overflow flag. The remaining are the 3 machine control flags. One is an overflow flag. This is about your total flag register of 8086, and more detailed description would be done on how these flags have been affected, how the flags would be done. So remember here, the 6 flags would be on the control of the instruction. Once an instruction is being executed, how the flags have been affected. This depends on the status of the. These are also called as status flag because it will give the status of the program. And you would be having 3 flags which are called as machine control flag. This will make the processor to control it up over here. Like trap flag is for single step execution, direction flag is used in the strings, and interrupt flag, as you know that once you are going for an interrupt, you can go for providing this high at the interrupt flag. So thank you for watching the videos. More videos would be uploaded in a short regarding the flag register, memory segmentation, as well as memory register organization. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you once again.